Sorry to interrupt, ladies and gentlemen, but you already know who it is. You already know what it is. It's your boy, TB. Welcome back to another edition of Rolling with TB. You heard me? Welcome back to a special edition of the 2019 year-end wrap-up of Rolling with TB. The highs, the lows, whatever. We about to talk about it. Let's go.
What's up, Rolling Gang?
Alright, y'all, so where this story is gonna start from is December 14th, 2019. My life was changed forever. So, you know, I graduated college with a bachelor's degree in business management in 2013, December 2013. I went to school for 3.5 years, and my father told me, he was like, T, you come out on I think you should come out on the road and become a truck driver. He was like, it's easy money, you can finance your own dreams and create whatever opportunity that you wanted. So I took that in stride. In 2014, I went and applied and got a job with Prime Incorporated in Springfield, Missouri, doing reefer. And during that time, my father actually was the one who trained me. And my father told me, he was like, TJ, that's what he called me. Everybody else called me TB, but my dad calls me TJ. He was like, TJ, whatever you do when you get on this road, you always one accident or one ticket away from losing everything. You're one accident and one ticket away from losing everything. And from that day, I took that in stride, and I told myself, I'm about to maneuver through this trucking industry and remind myself every time that I'm always one accident and one ticket away from losing everything. So from 2014 up until 2018, let's just say, yeah, to 2018. For those 4.5 years or whatever, I took that, but I got comfortable. I came over to Schneider. I was making some of the most money that I could possibly ever make. I was taking a lot of dope vacations. I was doing a lot of dope stuff with my life, and I loved it. And on top of that, I was saving money. So if you're watching this video, whether you're a truck driver, you're not a truck driver, I'm gonna tell you this, man. 1 year can change your whole entire life. If you can sacrifice 1 year, you can get out of debt. You can get caught up on your child support payments. It just comes with a sacrifice, not being home, being on the road, and getting with the right company. But my dad has always told me, you're only one accident and one trucking ticket away from everything. So December 14th, 2018, I had my first accident. It wasn't my fault. You know, I got countless videos up about that accident right there. If you can see, you know, if you could just go back through, you can see those videos in my journey through that. So from December 14th, Schneider gave me, because the accident was, I guess because nobody got towed, nobody was injured in any of those things, it was kind of like they gave me 2 weeks to find another job. So December 25th is when I had to find another job. But with that being the holiday and with the accident, I had to get my truck fixed. And you know, the only shop was in Dallas. So I drove my truck probably like 90-some miles up to Dallas. I took it to the shop and got my truck fixed. But, so from December 14th up until January the 20-something, the very end of January, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a truck because I was waiting on my truck to get out the shop. So still, while I'm sitting down, I still had to make those truck payments every week. That time I had a Peterbilt 579, so my truck payment, if I'm not mistaken, was around $1,100 and something a week. So I was out of work for like almost a month, and then I went and I applied for Jones Motor Group. So Jones Motor Group was a decent company. They took a chance on me because the accident at that time wasn't on my record, and by the grace of God, it still isn't on my record at all, which is really, really weird. But maybe it was because nobody got told, nobody got ticketed, I don't know. But by the grace of God, the accident was not on my record. So I was nervous and I was scared, and I wasn't applying for a lot of different companies because I had the accident, and it was so close to the accident where it was like I didn't want to lie and say anything, so I told the truth on all of the applications I filled out. And a lot of them wanted to see the police report, but I guess in the state of Texas I didn't get a police report straight away. So it took like a couple months for me to get that police, or maybe a month for me to get that police report. But Jones Motor Group, they gave me a chance. So I started in Jones Motor Group beginning of February. I was out of work for a month. Still had to make those truck payments. Christmas came up, New Year's came up, so I wasn't spending too much money. I was literally probably just paying my truck note because I didn't have all the other fixings or whatever, because the truck was stationed at the Peterbilt dealership in Dallas, Texas. I started at Jones in February. I got on with Jones. February was pretty rocky because it was a new company, so you get to prick your own freight at Jones Motor Group, which was a plus for me because I just feel like, man, being at Schneider and experiencing that load board and then having to go to a company that dispatch you was something that I didn't want to do. So Jones Motor Group, my dad worked there, a couple other guys I knew worked there, so they gave me a chance. I had to really learn their system because at Schneider it's like they have their own load board, so whatever you see on the load board is what you get, which was amazing. I love Schneider, man. If I can go back without getting a lease truck through them, I would. But so Jones February was cool. I was learning all the tricks and the trades and working on that load board, and they had some of their own little agents or whatever. But you know, it wasn't what I expected. I was thinking I was gonna make a ton of money because I'm using a load board. But what I didn't realize at that time was it's way better to have contracted freight than to use excuse me, load board freight. Load board freight is almost, to me, like the bottom of the barrel freight, you know. And then they was taking out, I think, 25% or whatever every load I was getting. So imagine these loads aren't paying that great. You know, this year alone in trucking, man, the rates were down tremendously. So it was like I'm already not making a lot of money, and I had this $1,000 truck payment a week that I was paying. So it was kind of like I had to just learn the system. So one of the guys that was working at Jones Motor Group, he told me, if you switch over to our second division, Hotshot Express, you can pull hazmat loads, so you can make tons of much more money. So what happened was I didn't have my hazmat endorsement at the time, and I didn't really know about hazardous materials, so I'm still just struggling. I'm still trying to catch up, literally catch up on everything that I was doing and everything that I had going on. So for February, March hit me. Ooh, March was a terrible month for me because I had a fuel pump leak or leak somewhere, but it has to do with fuel. So every week every day I would drive my truck and my check engine light would come on. And you know, check engine light is one of those things where it's like your truck is telling you something wrong, but it's not too bad. You just need to get it serviced as soon as possible. So first week of March, check engine light came on. Took it to the dealership. They told me, saying you got low fuel, but I didn't have low fuel. It was like, well, just go fill your tank up, and then we'll see what happens. So I'm driving, I leave out, cool, nothing happens. I go up a hill. As I'm going up the hill, my stop engine light come on. Then I get back on narrow ground. My check engine light is just be on. My stop engine light to go off. So I'm literally dealing with this over and over again. So I took it to the shop. They did something where they got it to get my stop engine light to stop coming on. And then, you know, I started to have a bunch of other issues happen. But April come along, my truck is literally in the shop every single week. So I'm calling Schneider Finance because my lease is pretty much up and I want a new truck. At this point, my lease is literally pretty much up. You know, I just had a couple more payments that I needed to make to be caught up fully. So my truck is in the shop every week, and I'm calling. They finally like, okay, well, your new truck ain't supposed to be ready till May, but we got a truck here for you to get, which is that Freightliner 2020, the red one that y'all seen, right? So they was like, you only can take your truck to 3 places. Charlotte, North Carolina, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I think it's Phoenix, Arizona. And those 3 places was the only place I could take my truck to. But they were gracious enough to let me drop my truck in Memphis at the West Memphis terminal. And they got me a rental car to go to Phoenix, Arizona. So the first week in May, I go to Phoenix, Arizona. It's my birthday, everything. I go to pick up my new truck. Happy, excited. I get to their terminal. Everybody's in there coughing and just all kind of, they just was sick as a dog. So I'm just not thinking nothing of it. Go to the hotel, check in, whatever, everything's cool. Get my new truck, and I'm just feeling terrible a few days later, probably like 3 days later. I'm just feeling terrible. I'm feeling really tired. And it's weird because it's like I can drive 10 hours, 11 hours, not be tired, no issues. But this time I'm really tired for some reason. So I go and I make it to, picked up my truck. I get all my paperwork and everything for Jones, and at this time I remember that the guy told me to switch over to Hot Shot Express. So luckily, before I went to go pick up my new truck in Phoenix, Arizona, I got my my hazmat endorsement and I was able to switch over to Hot Shot Express. So this is where it started to suck. I'm not knowing deep down inside that I'm sick. I'm just thinking that I'm tired. So I had a hazmat load that I was supposed to pick up, but you know, I just wasn't feeling well. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. So I ended up picking up a lighter load and I just took it over to Dallas. And then I found another load I took over to West Memphis, Arkansas. And when I get in West Memphis, Arkansas, I'm literally standing up. And it's like I'm looking outside and my eyes getting blurry and I'm like, what is going on? I know it's something wrong, but I don't know what it is. So then I'm like, I call up to St. Louis to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm like, you know, I don't know, it's something wrong with me. I'm not sure what it is because I'm literally in my truck. I'm coughing, I'm throwing up at this time. I'm having shortness of breath. I'm having diarrhea. Sorry, it's a little bit too much. I'm having diarrhea. I'm having all these symptoms and I'm like, this is weird. So I pick up this little $400 load from West Memphis, Arkansas to deliver to St. Louis. I get to St. Louis and I'm just getting worse. Like I can barely move, I can barely walk. By the grace of God, I delivered that load with no issues. I went and parked my truck at this truck stop that we're currently at right now, the Loves in St. Louis off 70. I parked here and I called an Uber to urgent care because I'm just thinking like, man, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's nothing serious that I need to go to the hospital. So I go to urgent care. They tell me, it's something wrong with you. We can't put our finger on it. You need to go to the hospital. So they call the ambulance or whatever, put me in the hospital. And this video right here is the video I found out where I had legionary pneumonia. Oh, this is May. I literally only worked a few days in May. Got this brand new 2020 Freightliner. I'm excited, pumped. It's time to get some money. I had to shut down. I shut down from the second week. It's probably really the first week, but I gotta look at the calendar. But I know it was like the 7th or 8th. It was one of those days in May. I don't know what week that is on the calendar, but I had to shut down my truck. And at this point, it's like I'm literally running low on money. Like this truck was my last resort. Granted, in my savings account, I had $40,000 saved up. I'm paying my truck note every week. I didn't have any maintenance fund at that point in my trucking career. I didn't have any maintenance fund, so every week my truck is in the shop. I'm spending $1,000 and some every single week for them to tell me that they can't figure out what's wrong with my truck. Then I had to get my DPF. It was like $5,000 and some. I had to get that fixed, and all these other extra things that I had to go through. And I'm like, I'm running low on money. So I'm in the hospital. I found out I have legionnaire pneumonia. I'm missing truck payment after truck payment after truck payment. It was like 3 truck payments in a row I missed. The second week in May, third week in May, fourth week in May. Schneider contacted me, wanted to know what's going on, and at that point I couldn't talk. But at the end of the month I was able to finally be able to talk, which I made that video telling everybody I had legionnaire pneumonia in the hospital. I was able to send them the paperwork and all that, and they told me basically, okay, what we gonna do is put your payments on hold, and we gonna help you out, get well soon, come back out here, and we gonna catch you up. Thank God I got out the hospital. I wasn't sick anymore. I didn't have any money. At that point, I probably only had like $1,000 left. I went through from December, January, February, March, April, 5 months. I went through $40-some thousand because I had my stuff I had to take care of at home. I had this truck that I had to try to take care of. Like, I was in the shop. It was like I just got wiped out of money, you know. And all at this point I had $1,000 in cash, and I had a credit card that I was using at that time. So I didn't have any money to be able to pay my truck payment. I didn't have any money to be able to, like, literally to survive anymore at this point. Like, everything that could possibly go wrong with me went wrong. From an accident to truck breakdowns that I had, to towings, to getting sick with pneumonia, just everything possible. And the nail on the coffin was, I got out of the hospital. I had to take an extra week off. So June, probably the second week in June, is when I started back working. And once I started back working, they switched me over to Hotshot Express. And I'm thinking, ooh, you got a hazmat endorsement, you're gonna be making some money. Which, hazmat endorsement, you can make some money. But what I didn't know is over at Hotshot Express, a parent company of Jones Motor Group, they had a bad MC number. Meaning, they was double brokering freight. They was holding loads hostage. You know, all kind of stuff was going on under their MC number from, you know, different agents that they let use their MC number. So I'm calling to book loads. Everybody like, we can't work with you. You know, I can't run under Jones Motor Group authority no more because I switched over to their parent company, Hotshot. So I can only book loads that was under Hotshot. And it was to the point where I was getting $200-300 truck. I was making that in revenue a week, probably maybe $1,000 sometime. So it was to the point where I kept getting non-sufficient funds because I didn't have the money. I ran out of money. I got pretty much, I didn't get in debt, so to say. I got in debt with Schneider because I'm starting to get these non-sufficient funds. I can't make my truck payment. But, you know, I just went ahead, I caught myself up, and I maxed out my credit card to pay Schneider. Stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. I should have just turned the truck in at that point in June or July. Should have turned it in. Didn't turn the truck in. Stupid. Maxed out my credit card, and then it got nothing but worse. Because I started to, you know what I'm saying, kind of maneuver myself and get my money caught up a little bit. But still, that truck payment was literally my Peterbilt, my Freightliner Cascadia 2020, my truck payment was $1,200, $1,233.76 a week. That's $4,900 some dollars a month. So I was literally only making enough money to pay my truck note a week at that point, because I got myself out of that hole on Schneider by using my credit card or whatever. And, you know, I'm thinking everything is gonna be okay. It's gonna get better. It's just the times, the market, the rate, everything. It didn't get better at all. I stopped making YouTube videos. I stopped making content because it was like, what's the point? I'm failing as a truck driver. I'm failing. And that brings us to where we are right now. I was able to stack up a little money, enough to where I had an account with my savings that I was just sitting on because of this one thing. Bitcoin was high at one point, right? I bought some Bitcoin a while ago, and when Bitcoin was high, before it started getting like crazy known, I had some money in Bitcoin, and I was able to take that money and put it in send that money to my account, right? And another thing was my grandfather. I just want to thank my grandfather because my grandfather gave me some more money on top of that to put down as a down payment on this Freightliner 2020 that I have right now. So I just can only say that it was nothing but the grace of God of why I'm here. I had a terrible year, from an accident to my truck being in the shop, to the rates being sucky, to me going into debt and me digging myself in a hole, to the point to where I'm at right now, where I was able to have enough money to go to a dealership, pick up a truck, and stop making that $1,200 a week truck payment, to where my truck payment literally like now is like $2,000 and something a month, you know. And I'm at a great company where I'm making great money. Well, I'll tell y'all about that company in the next few videos, but right now we're gonna end this video right here. Thank you for rolling with TB. 2019 sucked terribly for me. I failed completely, but right now we're back, we're better. See y'all in 2020. Rolly gang!